Now we know that a pivot table is based on a list. What's also important to know is if you change that list, the pivot table will not necessarily update automatically. In fact, it won't refresh automatically. It's a snapshot in time. Let's have a look, for example, in this sheet. Let me just rename this sheet pivot. In this sheet pivot, we have a Cathi appearing in A6. Now I can see the average actual sales for this person is 1,000. Now if we go back to the source of this pivot table, which is targets, and we press Ctrl G, which is short for go to, let's go to the cell H274. Actually, it's not H274, it's H245. Enter. Now when you go to H245, you can see 1,000 there for a Cathi. And I can see a Cathi down here, which is another 1,000, and a Cathi down here, which is another 1,000. So the average of a Cathi is 1,000 because it's 3,000 divided by 3. Now let's change this 1,000 in H245 to something a lot larger, 10,000, and enter. If we then go back to our pivot table, notice there's been absolutely no change in this value. And that is because we have to refresh the pivot table. Once you update the pivot table, you'll see that carry through. So we go to Pivot Tools, Analyze in the ribbon, and we go for the Refresh button. In fact, we have two choices. We could refresh this pivot table, or if we've got several pivot tables coming off the one source, it might be wise to refresh all pivot tables. So I'm going to click Refresh All. As soon as I hit Refresh All, the 1,000 average goes to 4,000. So where we had 3,000 divided by 3 as an average of 1,000, we now have 12,000 divided by 3 as an average of 4,000. So you must remember to refresh the pivot table or refresh all pivot tables if the data in the source should change.